Hey guys, it's the MindRec here today with a new video on Java. It's a Java tutorial and it's part of the Java tutorial playlist, and it'll be posted on YouTube with that. Let's get started. So I've already actually coded all of this. It's just you guys can just copy this down. That's not spelled right. Positive. Let's just make it integer. Let's just get, okay. Anyways, because it's not working, let's see, right here, and there we go. Okay, so, first we have a string, and a string is probably the most, positive, there's an extra T. Okay, this is probably going to be the most common, type of variable that you will see. It's mainly because it holds text, and then for the other ones you hold like one character, like numbers or something like that. So let's get started. So a string, which is this right here, and all of these are common, so you can put these so you know what I'm saying, and it's for reference later on in the future. So here we have a string, and a string is something that holds text, like I said. So this is one way of initializing a variable. So you put string and then the name of the variable you want it to be. And usually you want to have short variables so you can remember it, but not too short that it's kind of like, why did I name it this? You want to know why you named it that and what it's going to hold kind of from the variable. So so that's a string, right? Or that's a type of variable. That's what you want to name your variable. So we've named it my string. And a lot of the time you'll see the first letter isn't capitalized and the second letter is. And that's just habit when coding, pretty much in any language. So, not the first letter, the first word. So, we have my and the capital string, right? So my string equals this is my string. And you have to put whatever text you want in between two quotation marks, so it can count it as a string rather than just some text. Or it could call it as a variable or something like that, but you want to have it in quotation marks. So then if I print that, I'm going to run this here. We'll run, my computer decides to be any faster. So let's run this, okay. Come on. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. My computer's running really slow. And I think, yeah, okay. So this is all of it. This is all that I've called. So if we call this is my string, if we call my string, then it prints that's my string. So, you know, I'm going to get rid of all of these and we'll add them as we go through. So remember, you can do sysout to get this. I've already made the thing, so it's my domain, the name of the project, and then the variables.java, and you can see this all over here for future reference. And if you haven't seen this, if you haven't seen what I've coded, the first video, then you should go to the first video, watch that, and then come back to this, because there are some concepts that, although it's just short video, will be represented in here. So now we have an integer, and this is another way of initializing a variable. And an integer can be positive or negative. In this case I have negative, but if I make it positive, nothing happens. Let's keep it negative for now. And then if I were to run this, let's run it down here. So you do sysout, and then control space, or command space if you're on a Mac. And then after it registers, because my computer's very slow right now, and you type in my int, and if you run this, okay, we'll save it, and now we want you to run. It's running. Hold up. There we go. Now it's going to print -5. And so this, an int cannot be a decimal, so it has to be a positive or negative whole number. And it can only go up to a certain number, and you can look up what that number is on Google or something. I just don't know it off the top of my head. And if I get that error, I usually use a longer variable. A variable that can hold more memory. So now we have floating variables, and floating variables can be positive or negative. They can be decimals, but they have to have an F at the end, and that's because it registers it as a floating value. So right here, what we're going to do is we're float, my float. This is the type of variable you're calling, and then the name of your variable. So like I said, a floating value can be negative, positive, or decimal. Negative. But it only prints 7 of the decimals. So that's another problem. So it has an F, and it only prints 7 of the decimals, and I'll show you that here. So we're going to do sys out. I'm going to just type it out because it's probably faster. Out print ln, and then my float. And then we're going to run this. When my computer decides to not. Make sure you put the semicolon at the end of your statements because that's how you define your variables. So let's run this. Okay, and then get rid of that. And it prints 6.6665, and that's the seventh decimal. So that's kind of inconvenient if you're trying to be pretty precise. So that's when we get to a more convenient variable, a double, which can hold a positive or a negative value, and it can be a decimal. So that's really convenient. It doesn't need an F at the end. It's just 6.66666 and however long we want it. It only holds like I want to say like around 10 or 12 maybe, 12, like around that area, and of decimals. But it's a lot more accurate. I don't know if you're doing some like game or something and you need to code. I forgot to call it. You need to code something, and if it's off by a few decimals, then it can throw off your whole program. Because there are programs like that, and you just gotta be, you gotta use a more accurate thing, and that's what we have here. So my dub, and I'll probably put most of the source code in a pastebin so you guys have it. And so let's run it now. I saved it in there. Just skip that. Launching variables. Cancel. I forgot my semicolon. I know I forgot. It's all good. I'm actually making a game in the works. Game will probably be out. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. We like just started. We came up with the idea, and that's it. So we still have a lot to add. Come on, run freaking program. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. So it's 6.6666667. But see how many decimals that is. It's a significant amount, right? So just that little amount can go a long way when you're doing certain programs and you need to be accurate. And I use those. I don't really use floating values. I don't, because it's annoying. So yeah. So now we have longs. A long variable can be a larger integer, but it has the same rules as an integer, so it can be positive or negative, but it can't be a decimal. But it's harder to use because when you use it, it's easier to use because it can hold a lot more memory. So an integer can only go so far, whereas a long can go farther, but it has a finite amount of memory it can hold as well. So if we run it here, we go sys out in control space, and then my float, and we save and run this. And here we go. 666. Wait, no, that's not it. That's not it. Wait, what? That's wrong. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I know what I did wrong. I put my float instead of my long. Let's change that. So now if I run it, because I actually have the right thing this time, then it should print 6666. I forgot my semicolon again, didn't I? No, I did. I forgot to capitalize. So Java is case sensitive, and that's kind of important. Well, it's actually quite important, because when you're coding a project and you forget to capitalize some of the letters, then it doesn't work. So you need to use capitals when you're doing this. So we only have 3 more variables to go after this. So 66666. I think if you add 1 more 6 to that, you get an error because it can only hold a certain amount of memory. So that's about it. That's like, I want to say trillions. No. That's like 66 million, I think. Can't really tell because I don't have the decimals. It's annoying. So, that's that, right? So, now we're trying to do a short. And a short can only hold a certain number of variables, numbers as well. It's shorter than an integer. It has the same rules as an integer, but it just can't hold very large numbers. So, the integer you'll see is the median, or medium when you get there. So, and then you have the short and long. So, let's print this and sys out, and then we'll print my short. And we run this, we save it, and we run it. Okay, and there we have my short. And it'll print right here. 666. So that's 6,666, and that is almost the amount it can hold. I just used a lot of sixes when I did this. I don't know why. And again, it has the same rules as long, and it's but it holds smaller numbers. And a byte, it can only hold a few numbers. It's like only up to like 32 it can hold, but like if you go to 100, it doesn't work. No, 300, 325, it doesn't work. And 1,325. So I just put 25 because it's a nice number. So let's run this. And it's not right. Sys out. And my byte. And you see that it runs. So that's has the same rules as a long and an integer and a short, but it only holds small numbers. I don't know if that's important to you guys. But yeah. And then we have two extra ones. These are pretty cool. I like the Boolean. I don't know why, but it just interests me. So a Boolean can only hold true or false. So say you're playing a game and you want to dig or something, and you have to type true in order to dig. You want to type false in order to not dig. Move on. That is the type of thing, right? So that's what this game is. This type of variable is. So it can hold true or false values, and if I like make it 5, it doesn't work. And it has to be by itself. It cannot be in quotation marks. If it's in quotation marks, then it doesn't work. So let's run this. Sys out, and then my bool, and we save it and run it. Proceed. No, yeah, I spelled it wrong. There we go. And we run it. And then we have my bool. Now, the last one is a character. And a character can hold any type of thing on your keyboard, but can only hold one. So if you do like D, it works. But can't type in like 1, I think. I don't think it works with numbers. I know this K will work. Let's try it with numbers. Okay, not what I want. Yeah, it works with numbers. So you can have any type of thing in there, but I had K. So if we run this and we run my character, sys out, and then my character, this will print K. And that will be it for today, guys. Let's just run it. Okay, that will be it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Tuning in. Hold up for more videos. I'm trying to keep this recorder. It works for the video clips. The Cam Studio I had didn't compress right or something. So, anyways, I'm using Camtasia. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm using that, and I'm trying to figure out a way that I can get it not for so much money. But let's hope that it happens. And thanks, guys, for helping me with this. Thanks, guys, for just watching my videos. It really helps. Subscribe, only if you like it. And these Java tutorials, they're going to be rolling out pretty fast soon. I just need to figure out a way that I can use a good recorder that works. So thanks, guys. See you guys later, and have fun.